Hey y'all, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give y'all my ideas for modifying slash accommodating students' assignments. So let's look at this, right? This is just a counting sheet, right, that was given out to, I want to say kindergarten. So first and foremost, for students who have IEPs, my thought on this is to have the work already cut out. So as you can see, there's some things that need to be cut out here. When you have students with disabilities, you want to cut or front load the work for them, right? So what I would do here is just have this already cut out. So let's start right there, okay? All right, so I'm not good at making videos, so this might look a little choppy, but you'll get the point. So I've already cut this out, top and bottom half, but I'm going to do you one better. Depends on how fast or how slow they work. I'm going to only require that they finish half of the work, and it depends on their skill level, if that be the top half or the bottom half of the work. Okay, so this is what that'll look like. Hold tight. Okay, so I've cut the top half, I've cut the bottom half, and then I have the answers. Okay, so what I would do next is this could be Monday's work, this could be Tuesday's work. And if they are really slow processors, I would cut this into another strip. I would cut this into another row of work. So for this particular kid, because I know that there are attention deficits that will hinder them from being able to complete all of this in one math block, I'm going to cut this into another day lesson. I take that back. I didn't realize it was, I should have broken it into 3 bars. So I should have done 1, 2, 3 for Monday, then 1, 2, 3 for Tuesday, and then 1, 2, 3 for Wednesday, and then 1, 2, 3 for Thursday, and so forth and so on. So this is just break it up. That's my point, is break it up. So now that I have that broken up, let's just say, because it's not as many squares, right? It's not that many squares. So the next thing I can do to modify this slash accommodate my student is to X out. So I would take just a standard marker or a highlighter or a pen, and then I would just X out some of the numbers, or I would etch in, right? So that they could do something like match, right? So I wrote in 35. Hold on, let me find it. Right, so I wrote in 35 and I wrote in 49. So when the student sits down to work with me, or para, so this will be great for paras, this will be great for teachers. Teachers, I know that it gets really hard for you to try to do instruction for a whole class and make sure you are accommodating the students with an IEP. However, that is all of our responsibilities. So I would typically have all of this material cut out and put in a Ziploc bag. And you can use a big Ziploc bag, you could use a small Ziploc bag, it doesn't matter. I would have all this cut out prior to me giving it to the gen ed students. Okay, so now I got all my little pieces cut out, right? And so then when it gets to this, so this first row, right, it only has one space that needs to be glued in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would find the 4 for him or her or them or they. And then I would find an offbeat number. Okay, so I pulled out 4, and then I would pull out, let's say 18. And I'm just choosing 18 simply because that was what was on top when I start scrambling through these numbers over here off to my side. So when I give this to the student, I'm going to give him 2 numbers. And I'm going to say, what comes next? And then I'm going to say, hey, Tish, pick what comes next. And I'm going to say, does 4 comes next? What comes next, Tish? And I'm going to say, do we put 4 here, Tish? Or do we put 18, Tish? And then if they're wrong, then you slick guide them into choosing the right one, right? So let me try to, I don't know, without help or without a stand. Let me see if I can show you how that looks. Hold on. So you're working with your student and you say, what comes next? If you have 1, 2, 3, what comes next? And you say, does 4 go next or does 18 go next? What comes next? And then if they start to choose the wrong answer, you take their hand and lead it to the right answer. And you say, good job, 4 is next, 4 comes next. And then you give them the glue and let them put their glue dot there. And then you help them get the 4, right? And then you take the 18 away. And then you go on to the next number, which on this one is 11, right? So then you're going to find 11 for him and maybe find 18 for him. Again, same concept. What comes next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's next? And then you help him guide him to 11. Does 11 come next? Does 18 come next? And then you say, what comes next? And then you say, good job, 18. Good job. Glue it down. You glue. And then you go through the entire thing, okay? And then the alternative to that is when you get to this bottom, as you can see, I've written 49 in there. So then I would just find 49 for him or her or them or they. And then I would just get 49 and say, we wrote 49 in here. Can you find 49? Can you match 49? Good job, 49. Can you glue 49? Excellent work. That's 49. Good job. And then you have them glue it down in the space, right? So you do that for, Monday, Tuesday, and then you come back to class the next day and do Wednesday, Thursday. Now, the alternative to that is maybe they don't do this half. Maybe they do this half for homework. Maybe the other kids have the rest of it. Maybe the other kids have a whole nother page for homework. Homework is not graded, so it doesn't matter what they do for homework. They just need to practice the skill. So maybe you take these little pieces that you've cut up for them, right? And you put it in the Ziploc bag and you send it home to the parent and say, hey, they need to finish putting this together, right? So I'm going to put all this in a Ziploc bag and put a little note in there and say, hey, this is what we worked on in class today. They need to finish working on this. So send this home for homework, right? Or send it all home, because the teacher, the rule of thumb is that they need to demonstrate knowledge. They need to demonstrate they understood that whatever this Common Core standard is. I don't know what it is. It's either counting in order, one-to-one counting in order, sequencing, whatever this is for them. They just need to demonstrate that they can do it, right? So we can get that knowledge just how I just showed you. So teachers, this is how you can prepare for that. So when you're sitting down, you're going through your pacing guides and you say, we're getting ready to teach this Common Core standard. Now I got these 2, 3, 4, 5 kids in my class, and I understand that they may not get this to be able to write this or do this independently. How can I give them the alternative format to demonstrate knowledge? What am I going to be able to do to get them to show me they understood what I stood up there and taught, right? And so the worksheet is for your Gen Ed kids, right? The cutout part of it and the alternative is for your struggling learners, is for your IEP kids, your 504 kids. And that is okay, because you have just provided them the same education, equitable education, fair, appropriate education in a different way. Same as if you want to give it to them like this. Let's just say that way didn't work for them. So you need a different format, right? Maybe cutting their paper irritates them, because there are some kids who don't like for you to cut their paper. They don't want their paper altered. Then maybe you highlight the numbers for them. So you would just take a highlighter or a marker and highlight the box, that number. You would just highlight 51, 55, 57, and mark those numbers so that they can match, still producing the numbers, still producing what you need them to demonstrate, that they can put something in order with assistance. And yes, assistance is highlighting. You can do that. When we go and write IEPs, it does say for us, will you give this student this work by giving them a copy of it? Will you give them this work by highlighting it? Will you give them this work by recording it? There's tons of ways. And then there's also a box at the bottom that says, we're going to make it work like this. So what it's asking you is, how are you going to make this work? How are you going to provide this content to this student, and how are you going to make it work? So I hope that is helpful. And that's just a math format. That could be, there's a billion ways, I tell you. Another way, if you have a student who is more visual, you are more than welcome to give them an example problem and write out all the steps so that they can have an example problem off to the side on their desk, so that they can look to the left and copy what they see to be able to do the work. And they're just going to repeat that over and over and over until it becomes repetitiously a memory in their mind. A lot of what you're going to see is students struggle to remember, and their memory is what they need to be able to do the work, right? So their processing and their memory is the deficit. And that could show up in autism, that can show up in specific learning disabilities, that can show up in a billion different ways. It doesn't matter the disability, it matters that we are giving them an opportunity to demonstrate knowledge. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of the EE teachers. We have been to a million trainings. And if you do get an opportunity to step into some of those trainings, they are very, very good trainings. I'll try to do another video with an ELA component that can help you guys understand. But just for math, there's a lot of ways to demonstrate knowledge, and they don't have to have an IEP to get that help. You can help them any way you can to be able to get them to show you they heard what you're saying during the content, okay? In their testing, when you're ready to test to get a grade for that and get them to demonstrate that, some kids can get multiple choice, some kids can get fill in the blank, some kids can get oral presentation, some kids can get, it's just a million ways. Just get them to show you they can walk through the process. They can produce what you need them to produce, okay? If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks.